Hare Krishna. Today is Saphala Ekadashi. We will read the Katha of Saphala Ekadashi. The Saphala Ekadashi occurs during the waning moon in the month of December January. The glories of this Ekadashi are described in the Brahmanda Puran in a conversation between Lord Sri Krishna and Maharaj Yudhishthir. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired, O Krishna, what is the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the waning moon in the month of December January, and how should one observe it? Sri Krishna replied, O best of the Bharata dynasty, just as Shesha is the best amongst the snakes, Garuda is the best amongst the birds, a horse sacrifice is the best amongst sacrifices, the Ganga is the best among rivers, Lord Vishnu is the best among the demigods, and the Brahmanas are the best amongst human beings. Similarly, all vows, the day of Ekadashi is best. Anyone who observes Ekadashi is very dear to me. Lord Krishna is saying this, and this is in the Brahmanda Puran. This is not a made up fact, or, when people want to convince us for something, they say. Lord Krishna himself over here is saying this. And this is written in the Puranas also. And Krishna says that the whole essence of reading the Vedas, the Puranas, any scriptures, is to develop that love for God, is to understand that who is God? Krishna is God. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all the demigods also are praying to Krishna. In fact, the demigods look down on the human beings and they say, look at how lucky these human beings are, that they have received this golden opportunity to chant Krishna's name. Right? Once now over here, Bapuji on his recent visit, so much love for Krishna you see in him. Right? And so, one of the, similarly on this one, these same lines, right? That this love for God, where Krishna is saying that anyone who observes Ekadashi is very dear to me. Right? It is very auspicious on this Ekadashi day to fast. What do we have to do? Just not eat any grains? Right? People are doing so many kind of fast these days so that they can build their body, they can lose that weight. People are fasting for 36 hours, for 48 hours, 60 hours, right? Without any food, without any water also. They are doing such hard penances. But why? For that body that will perish. They're not doing it for health. They think they're doing it for health, but it actually deteriorates their body. It hurts them so much. They do waterless fast. Why? So that they can look good in their pictures, they can reduce that excess weight and everything. But over here for Krishna, one day we should work on not just not eating grains. There's so much Ekadashi Prasadam. If you see, it will be like a feast. If you just search on YouTube or Google for Ekadashi recipes, you'll get so much. And these days it becomes so easy. Right? So please try to fast so that we can become really close to Krishna. Because Krishna himself is saying that anyone who observes Ekadashi is very dear to me. And what else? आसरा इस जहां का मिले ना मिले मुझको बस तेरा सहारा कृष्ण चाहिए. Right? There's no use of this world for me. All we need is Guru and Krishna. If we have them by our side, then we don't need anyone else. And then if Krishna himself is saying that one who fasts on Ekadashi is one, that person is very dear to me, then what else can we say in the Ekadashi Mahatma? What else can we do? Just simply hearing this, that the person whom we love so much, whom we are waiting to go back and meet, right? He is saying that Krishna, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is saying that all living beings are part and parcel of me. Krishna is saying, I am the seed giving Father. right? Mame Vansho Jiva Loke, that I am seed giving father of all of the living entities. All living entities are my part and parcel. So that Krishna is saying that one who fasts for Ekadashi is very dear to me. We all should try and fast on this day to please Krishna, right? We need to please, to simply, and it's so easy. Otherwise, in the Satyuga, you have to sit and meditate for thousands and thousands of years. And even today, people are trying to go back to Krishna, to walk on this path of becoming um, enlightened, right? Of achieving that nirakar, achieving that state where they don't have to come back from. But but they don't understand that is very hard, right? And plus they don't have the right knowledge because Krishna has a shape, he has a form, just like we humans have a shape, have a form. A lot of people say that God is Nirakar, Krishna is not God, that Krishna is another demigod, but that is not true. Right? A lot of people still today, even if you go out, they preach that God has no form, God has no nothing. Right? And what is the difference between them and the atheist? Because the atheists also say that there's nothing that exists apart from the human beings. So we should understand that Krishna, that supreme personality of Godhead, who is our owner, who loves us, he's telling us that if one who observes Ekadashi is very dear to me, right? And then, in order to get out of the cycle of birth and death, it is a very, very big ocean. But with the mercy of our acharyas, of Guru Parampara, right? And Krishna, that whole big ocean that we have to cross, they shower their mercy and it becomes as small as a newborn calf's foot that we can easily cross over. So it is always important to depend on mercy. A lot of times people ask, what is more important, right? Destiny, our karma, or what is it that plays the biggest role in what we have to in our life? The biggest thing that we only have to depend on is the mercy of Guru and Krishna. That's why Krishna is known as Karuna Sindhu. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate. One who showers his mercy causelessly on all of the living beings. And we also just have to sit there and depend on that mercy of Guru and Krishna. That's all we have to do. Just depend on that mercy because what seems like an unaccomplishable task, when we start developing that love for Guru and Krishna, right? Love can create miracles. That love for Guru and Krishna, for everyone around us, for all of the living beings too, love for all of the living beings, all of our family members, right? Love for Guru and Krishna, all of that will create the miracle of mercy, right? Causeless mercy. So anyone who observes Ekadashi is very dear to me. The amount of piety, the pious, the good deeds, the credit that one accumulates by performing austerities for 5,000 years is simply achieved, right? For 5,000 years is simply achieved by observing Ekadashi. So, whatever benefit, whatever fruit one accumulates by performing austerities for 5,000 years, just simply by observing this one Ekadashi we receive. Lord Narayan is the worshipable deity of Saphala Ekadashi. Offering tulsi leaves and fresh fruits on this day can remove the sinful reactions of a person, and also incense and bright ghee lamps should be offered. At least on Ekadashi day, should offer tulsi flour, and fresh fruits to Lord Krishna on this day, along with incense and ghee lamp. Krishna continues that there was a famous king named Mahishmata who ruled the city of Champavati. He had four sons, the eldest of whom, Lumpak, was very sinful. He used to blaspheme the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, and the demigods, and was attached to gambling and prostitution. For this reason, his father, King Mahishmata, exiled him. The exiled Lumpak lived in the jungle and at night began to plunder wealth from the people of his father's kingdom. So he began to steal. In spite of his stealing, the citizens would set him free, knowing him to be the son of the king. He killed many animals in the day and at night stole from the citizens. Aside from eating meat, he also ate fruits that he collected during the day. He lived under an old banyan tree that happened to be very dear to Lord Vasudev. The banyan tree is so pure, it's very auspicious, and this Lumpak, who was so sinful, just simply began living under that tree which Krishna loves. In due course of time, Saphala Ekadashi arrived. The night before, Lumpak could not sleep from severe cold. Until midday of Ekadashi, he was practically unconscious from cold and hunger. He was too weak to kill animals that day, so he collected some fruits that had fallen to the ground and just ate them. By the time he returned to the banyan tree, it was sunset. So he went out, he could not kill any animals, he could not get anything else, just some fruits that he saw lying around, he collected those and ate it for that day. By the time he returned to the banyan tree, it was sunset. He placed the fruits on the ground at the base of the tree. Lumpak began to cry in despair to Sri Hari to be merciful and accept these fruits as an offering. Again, he was forced to lie awake the whole night without sleep because of the severe cold. So Lumpak over there sitting under the banyan tree praying to Krishna to please accept his fruits. Today we think that we need to offer the bhoga, the food, the fruit, the water in front of a deity. But the deities, if you can understand, they just started coming, right, very recently, 500, 1000 years ago. Before that, there were no deities that were worshipped like this regularly. Right? Deity worship in homes became very common now, very recently. Otherwise, before that, it was only in temples where all of the villages also, all of the cities would have one big temple, and that was the temple where everyone would worship because there was only one deity. Nobody had any anything in their house, any deities in their house. So we think that only if we have deities in the house we should offer. Look at Lumpak, he's offering the fruits under a banyan tree and crying out to that Lord Sri Hari. That's what we should do. So whether we have deities or not, we should always offer in our mind to that Lord Sri Krishna, and Krishna will accept. It should be pure. Offer the pure offering to Krishna, even the fruits, simple fruits, water, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. Right? A leaf, fruits, water, flower. What else do we need? What else can we offer to Krishna? But we should offer that with love. And to develop that love, we need to chant, we need to fast on Ekadashi, perform these austerities. So again, Lumpak was forced to lie awake the whole night without sleep because of severe cold. As a result of fasting and keeping awake, he unknowingly observed the Saphala Ekadashi. Lord Madhusudan accepted the worship and vow of Ekadashi offered by him. So, although he offered the fruits as a cry for help, that Krishna, please accept this and give me something, right? He offered that as a cry for help, for mercy. But Krishna accepted that as an offering on Ekadashi day. Krishna accepted that, right? How that as a vow that he's fasting for Ekadashi. We just have to take one step towards Krishna. Krishna will take 1,000 steps towards us. And he knows that we are not capable of doing pure Shuddh Bhakti as they say these days. If we become just a bhakt, also a devotee, that is a very big thing in this Kali Yuga. The next morning, a divine horse came and stood before Lumpak. A voice from the sky declared that by the mercy of Lord Madhusudan and the influence of Saphala Ekadashi, he could return to the kingdom. Lumpak returned to his father and accepted the responsibility of ruling the kingdom. In his old age, he renounced the kingdom and handed it over to his grown son. Then Lumpak went to the forest and spent time in meditation upon the Supreme Lord. Upon giving up his material body, he returned to the supreme abode of the Lord. Anyone who observes Saphala Ekadashi, even unknowingly, will become famous in the world. He will be liberated at death and return to Vaikuntha. Right, so look at how auspicious it is to fast on this Ekadashi. So that was the fasting of Saphala Ekadashi. We'll end that here today and then continue tomorrow with the Bhagavad Gita. Before we end, we'll chant together Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bihari Lal Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna.